What's up? We're going to talk about one of the best books I've read in a really long time. You ready? Let's go. Before we talk about this awesome book, I want to just remind you that if you have not subscribed to this channel, click that subscribe button down below, click the bell, and you'll get an email anytime I post a new video, a new book talk, or a new book with tips for teaching, reading, and writing. I am so excited to talk about You Go First by Erin Entrada Kelly. This book blew my mind. The book takes place over 1 week. It's back and forth telling two different stories. One from a 12-year-old girl named Charlotte, and the other story of an 11-year-old boy named Ben. The story begins with a tragic thing happening to both characters. It starts with Charlotte learning in class that her father has had a heart attack. And then Ben is sitting down at home. His parents call him in to have a conversation, and he thinks that they're going to move to Ann Arbor and live in Michigan, where his parents went to college, when in turn he finds out that his parents are getting divorced, and he is completely floored. Both Ben and Charlotte are what you would consider to be geniuses. They are extremely, extremely smart, and both of them struggle making friends. Charlotte is dealing with her best friend and her kind of growing apart. Ben is just being flat out bullied as he's entered middle school. Kids are being mean to him. Kids are doing things, the typical awful bully things that you see so often happen to kids at that age. The common thread between Ben and Charlotte is they have actually found each other playing Scrabble online. They have developed this friendship through words, through challenging each other. They're both extremely good at Scrabble, and they go back and forth playing this game and sending each other messages. I'm going to share with you 5 things that I loved about You Go First. The first thing that I love about this book is the way that the main characters communicate. It's very 2018. They start meeting each other in an online game, playing Scrabble, and then they move that relationship into texting, and then eventually, way down the road, after they've already become friends, then do they finally have a phone conversation. The second thing that I love about You Go First is the friendships that are developed in this book. It is so hard for kids to find good friends and to make good friends and to understand what a friend really is. And I think that this book, you see so many different relationships and so many different ways that people try to make friends and ways that friendships fail, the way that friendships dissolve, the way that friendships begin. I think that it's a really important book for kids who are thinking about friendship and trying to figure it out, which is pretty much every kid. The third thing that I really loved about this book was that Charlotte had older parents. I think that's a fascinating thing for kids to read and experience in a book. I had parents of, I guess, normal age. My dad was about 30. My mom was 23 or 24 when I was born. But they went on to have 7 of us. There's 7 of us. So my parents currently have 2 freshman sons. So my dad is 66 years old, and he has 2 kids that are high school freshmen. I think that's going to be something really interesting for kids to see, for kids to relate to, for kids to not relate to, but try to understand. The fourth thing that I really loved about You Go First was the pacing. This book is told in 6 different parts, each part being 1 day of the week, and you have these short chapters going back and forth between Ben and Charlotte, Ben and Charlotte, Ben and Charlotte, back and forth, very quick. I felt myself, I kept wanting to read one more chapter, and one more chapter, and one more chapter, and then all of a sudden I had read 2 entire sections of the book, and in a book that would usually take me about a week to read during a normal school week, I read in 2 days. I read this book in only Monday and Tuesday. I just felt like it just moved so quickly, and I just had to know what was going on, and I just kept saying one more page. The 5th reason that I loved You Go First was that it felt so real. Like, I expected the story to go a certain way. I expected it to end a certain way. I expected the relationship to go a certain place. And none of that happened. And it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't necessarily like a tragic ending. It wasn't necessarily a fairy tale ending. It was a real story. And it felt real. And it felt timeless. And it gave me hope. I love this book. 2018 is shaping up to be an amazing year for children's literature. Please let me know what books you're reading, what books you think I should read, what has captured your heart like You Go First has captured mine. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Happy reading.